to the Penn Manor School District and Penn Manor Kindergarten. I'm Phil Gale, Superintendent of Schools. For some of you, you are beginning a new stage in the life of your student as they begin kindergarten. Others of you are continuing your family's experience of having your students become Penn Manor students. Regardless, this is a special time for you and your child. We desire to make each student's experience in Penn Manor a unique one, an individual for them. It is our desire that the information shared in this video will provide you with an understanding of what your students will be experiencing in kindergarten in the upcoming year. I can share with you as superintendent, but also as the father of two students who went through Penn Manor from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Our older son, kindergarten was something he was eagerly looking forward to. He couldn't wait to ride the bus. He couldn't wait to spend the day with his friends. He couldn't wait to learn. Our other son, it was a different experience. After the first week of kindergarten and a long Labor Day weekend, he boldly declared to his mom and me, "I'm done with kindergarten. I've learned all I need to know." Well, as you can imagine, as the year continued on, his learning experience continued on. This is what will happen with your child. Your child will be learning through the experience each day, each week, each month, and each year throughout their whole educational experience. Your child will be led through this experience by quality teachers. The quality teachers will start with the first teacher, their kindergarten teacher, that they will meet next year. Each of our teachers desires to develop that relationship, to know who your student is, to help them progress both personally as well as academically. We hope that you find great pleasure and excitement and success as you begin this journey in Penn Manor School District. Welcome to Penn Manor and welcome to Penn Manor Kindergarten.
Hello and welcome to Kindergarten in Penn Manor School District. Throughout this video, you will become aware of opportunities to take advantage of prior to enrolling a child in kindergarten, an overview of curriculum for English language arts and math, and requirements for kindergarten registration. Let's begin with our early childhood opportunities. Each of our 7 schools host a Lunch and Learn beginning in February 4 times a year. These events are for our students age 3 and 4 prior to coming to kindergarten. This is such a fun way to get acquainted with our schools, to listen to a book, to do a fun craft, and even eat lunch at school. I hope you'll join us for some of those. Preschool Stay and Learns are hosted at some of our local preschools, and these are for children aged 1 and 2. Again, this is another way to get connected, maybe to find a preschool that's right for you, and to meet other parents and children your child's age. Tiny Comments is a website hosted by Penn Manor School District. This is a great place to learn about these opportunities. You should visit www.pennmanor.net/tinycomments to learn more. A question we are asked quite often is, do you test for kindergarten, and what does my child need to know before coming to school? Well, the short answer is no, we don't test for kindergarten. The only requirement we have for coming to kindergarten is that your child meets the age requirement of turning 5 on or before September 1st. The longer answer is yes, we do a screener, but it's a preschool screener and it doesn't qualify or disqualify a child from coming to kindergarten. The screener consists of 8 basic items: writing your name, shapes, numbers, book handling skills, oral counting, identification of letter sounds, and identification of both uppercase and lowercase letters. This screener also provides your child's teacher with important information about what your child already knows prior to coming to school. And it also gives you information about what you can do to help prepare them before they enter our building. Our days in kindergarten are so busy. With 2.5 hours, we pack a lot in. Our day consists of morning work, sometimes signing in by practicing names. Names should be written with one uppercase letter and all the rest of the letters in the name lowercase. Calendar time, where we practice a lot of math skills, do songs and dances, and have fun. Math, where we practice our numbers, writing numbers, number bonds. We'll learn more about that later. ELA block, which includes Haggerty, phonemic awareness, foundations is our phonics instructions, where we match print to the letter sounds that we know. Shared reading, writing workshop, small group guided reading instruction, and stations where kids can rotate around the classroom, as well as read alouds. These read alouds may include science and social studies content, which is nonfiction and great for learning more. My guess is, though, some days your child might come home and say they didn't learn anything. It's important that you ask targeted questions to your child to find out the most information of what they've learned in their day. Our kindergarten schedule can be a little tricky to navigate, so let me help you understand it a little bit better. Kindergartners, as well as first through sixth graders, work off of a 4-day cycle, day A, B, C, and D. This helps you to know when your child should bring his or her library books back to school. They typically do it once a cycle or once every other cycle. The cycle days also serve as a way to not miss a day. So if we have inclement weather where we have off school, we pick up right where we left off the next time we come back. Something else that's very unique to kindergarten is on early dismissal days, kindergarten students have an opportunity to eat lunch at school and stay for the longer day. This rotates between the two groups. AM kindergarten will stay on one time, the next time PM kindergarten will stay. And again, this is a day for them to experience what it's like to be here a little bit longer, as well as eat lunch at school. That's always a bonus. Now let's dive into our language arts curriculum. Our ELA core curriculum components include teacher-developed standards-based read-alouds. These standards-based read-alouds go with nonfiction and fiction. They are fun, interactive, and engaging. We include guided and independent reading. Guided is with help, independent is without help. Phonemic awareness practice, where we connect sounds, we blend sounds, we segment sounds, we work on rhyming. And then phonics skills, which takes those sounds and connects it to print, as well as vocabulary development, where we develop a rich vocabulary that is beyond just basic words. Supplemental materials such as Haggerty and Foundations help drive our instruction. Haggerty is quick lessons that help us with the phonemic awareness skills, and Foundations helps us with the phonics skills. We practice handwriting, we practice talking about letters and lines where the letters belong on the skyline, the plane line, and the grass line, and we also connect them to trick words when we build the letters and make words out of them. Each component of our language arts program serves a different purpose. The read alouds help develop a love of language and sometimes help us dive deeper into content and learn information. Phonemic awareness helps us hear sounds and say sounds in parts of words and manipulate those sounds to do different things with them. Independent reading, children can read by themselves. Sometimes this is called Noses in Books, sometimes it's called Dear Time, sometimes it's called Sustained Silent Reading or SSR. Vocabulary development helps introduce words at a higher level, often related to content specific information. And guided reading instructs students in small groups, helping them become independent readers. Writing happens in various different ways, from the most support to the least support. Shared and interactive writing is the teacher and child writing together and sharing the pen, often done during whole group activities. Guided writing is when students are writing with the assistance of the teacher, focusing on conventions of print, stretching out words, writing uppercase and lowercase letters where they need to be, spacing in between words, and proper punctuation. Independent writing is when students get to use the skills that they've learned to independently write stories and sentences on their own. This is an example of writing from the beginning of the year, where students are focused on beginning sounds in words and writing what they know. Line awareness does not always happen. but we want to create independent writers. Middle of the year, the students have more sounds connected to the letters that they're writing, and you can begin to read what the child is saying. By the end of the year, we should be able to see a story. We should be able to connect a picture to the writing. And if you look at that sentence, read, I would rather go to the beach because you can play in the sand. Let's switch gears and talk about math. The program that we use that supports our math curriculum is called Eureka Math. Students focus on counting to 50 and beyond, identify and write numerals from 0 to 20, and match sets of objects from 0 to 20 as well. The goals are broken down. By mid-year, a child should have mastery with numbers from 0 to 10, and by the end of the year, 0 to 20. Our daily calendar time also supports our math skills. We begin the year with classifying and sorting objects. Sorting can be done by shape, by color, by size, and by count. That's how many of something you have. You can also classify what belongs and what doesn't belong. These are fun activities that you can do at home with your child. Sorting laundry and matching socks is a great activity to do for sorting. Position words are also a part of our math series. We use the words above, below, in front of, behind, beside or next to, and in between. Next, we work on identification of both two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. The shapes that we assess for two-dimensional are circle, square, rectangle, triangle, and hexagon. And our three-dimensional shapes that we assess are sphere, cube, cones, and cylinders. We talk about two-dimensional shapes being flat and three-dimensional shapes as sticking out. Measurement is something that kids love to do. Length, height, weight, and capacity are the 4 areas that we talk about. Length, how long or short something is. Height, how tall or short something is. Weight, is it heavier or lighter? And capacity, how much does it hold? Does it hold more? Does it hold less? Finally, after we have a solid understanding of numerals, we talk about addition and subtraction, where we add groups together and subtract groups from one another. We also use number bonds to help show the part-whole relationship.
There are 3 pieces of information that are required for any student registering for school. This information includes a completed immunization record from the physician, a birth certificate, and proof of residence. Kindergarten students also need to have a physical and dental exam done prior to the start of school. Physical and dental forms can be found on the nurse's blog at the address noted. Here is a list of the required immunizations for all kindergarten students. It is important to note that students are required to have the proper number of immunizations, and the doses must also be properly spaced. In accordance with the Pennsylvania Department of Health guidelines, students who do not have the proper immunizations completed within the first 5 days of school will not be allowed to attend. Please contact your student's school nurse if your child has any medical condition, requires medication at school, or if you have any questions. Your child's school nurse contact information can be found on the school blog or on the nurse's blog at the address noted.
Should you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your child's upcoming teacher, the building secretary, or the building principal. We truly hope for you and your child to have a smooth transition to school. Welcome to Penn Manor. We're so glad you're here.